The European Championships has been the silent of all eyes in recent days, and the excitement has been non-stop. 21 goals have so far been scored in 8 matches, and there are more to come. The Nigeria Professional Football League entered week 27 at the weekend, and what we saw in some centers was good and quality football, but what happened in the game between Kano Pillars and Aqua United put a sour taste on the tongue of everyone who truly love the game in Nigeria. The French Open has been concluded, and Novak Djokovic emerged champion in the men's game, his 19th Grand Slam title. These and much more make up the program today. Welcome. This is Sports Desk. I am Promise Efogi. Deji Omotoyibo is on the program with me. Lots really happening in the European Championships. Goals have been scored aplenty, but we saw something scary in the game between Denmark and Finland.
Yeah, I think these are the kind of things that put football or sports in proper perspective. For the 10-20 minutes, for the maybe 30 minutes before we got the news that Eriksen was okay, the whole football world, we were hung in the air. Everybody waited with bated breath. The competition didn't matter, who won the games didn't matter. Everybody just wanted Christian Eriksen to be fine. Thankfully, he pulled through, he's fine. He just put things in perspective. When we want to shout and kill and scream at ourselves, it's just a game.
That's true.
It's just a game, and life is much more important. Thankfully, he pulled through, and wish him all the best for the future. But the competition has been, okay, like he collapsed for like 10, 20 minutes there, it was touch and go. And you didn't know why. And you could see from the reaction of the other players, they were distraught, some were crying, some were praying, the fans. Everybody was just worried. You can see Braithwaite and Schmeichel, how concerned they were. But I like the way the team came together, formed a screen around him. They didn't want us to see all the details of all the medical things for privacy, of course. But it was scary. I could see that some fans were even already crying. We've seen this sort of thing happen before. Mark Vivian Foy, even in Nigeria, I was at the National Stadium when Samuel Okoroji collapsed.
Sure.
We didn't know he died because he was carried out of the stadium.
Fabrice
Mwamba. This was his family, very touching.
Kalilu Fadiga experienced something similar.
So, but thankfully, he pulled through, and you have to credit the medical team, the way they responded on time.
Quick medical response.
Thankfully, he survived. But you can imagine the trauma those players would have gone through. These are their friends, these are their teammates. And especially his family being there, the
wife was there.
The wife, and I think one of the kids was there as well. So, but thank God we can all heave a collective sigh of relief that it turned out well. At least he's fine, he's healthy. I hear he's stabilized, he's still in hospital, and hopefully we don't know whether
he was to play football now.
That's a secondary matter now. The important thing is he's alive. You know, so whether he plays again or not, that's a matter for another day.
Okay, well, the competition is still ongoing. Games are in the offing later today. Earlier today, we saw Scotland losing to the Czech Republic 2-0. We saw some exciting games yesterday as well. Holland survived a scare yesterday. That was against Ukraine. They were 2 goals up. Ukraine came back 2-2, and it took a late goal for Holland to really pick the 3 points there.
Yeah, they kind of took their eye off the ball. They relaxed a little bit. Ukraine came with 2 quick goals, but thankfully for them, they recovered and got the 3rd goal, so they got the 3 points. And up until the time when they were 2-0 up, they were actually cruising. It just goes to show how football can change quickly.
And a lot of talks about football, returning to England. We saw the English team beating World Cup finalist Croatia 1-0. And it was a Sterling goal by Raheem Sterling that made a difference.
And there were criticisms of Sterling's place in the team, but I think Gareth Southgate justified that inclusion. Sterling got the only goal, but I think Calvin Phillips was their best player on the day.
Absolutely. Well, that's a confirmation of results of matches played yesterday on your screen. Let's see our fixtures for today. We shall have that in graphics in a bit. Games coming up today in the Euro Championships. 2 games yet to be played later today. Spain will be playing at home against Sweden, and Poland are taking on Slovakia.
And I think probably we've seen the goal of the tournament. We saw the second goal. What's his name? Czech Republic's second goal this afternoon. Probably the goal of the tournament. Any goal that beats that
will be extraordinary.
So that probably is the goal of the tournament so far.
All right, let's quickly take you through some of the goals scored so far in the European Championship. Highlights of matches played. We saw Russia being decimated by Belgium 3-0. Italy started the competition on a very fine note, beating Turkey by 3-0. Someone said Italy made Turkey look like fried turkeys on the night. Let's see goals of matches played in the championship, and then we'll come back and link up with Jide Ladipo, who is standing by from London.
This was a fellow who did a lot in that stage, and here he goes again. Leeds United, Calvin Phillips. Sterling! England break through, and Raheem Sterling is the man. Home joy at Wembley. Last chance. Good distance on the throw. And it dropped for Pasalic. A swing, a miss. And England start with a victory, a sterling effort. Croatia, meaningful possession. They had plenty of the ball after the goal. But England saw it through without too many alarms. 3 points in Group D. England 1, Croatia 0.
Nice touch and a clever little movement.
Now Dumfries, that's an excellent delivery in towards Memphis Depay, and finally the breakthrough comes from the captain, Jorginho Wijnaldum.
Perfectly.
And here come the Netherlands once more as Dumfries tries to force his way through, and the shot ends up going in, and Wout Weghorst makes it too. It takes a deflection on the way. Yarmolenko up against Wijndal. Be a chance to shoot here for Andrei Yarmolenko, who scores an outstanding goal for Ukraine.
Box.
Malinovsky puts it in. Oh, it's 2-2. Yaremchuk is there, and suddenly Ukraine are level, and the Netherlands are stunned in Amsterdam. Buschan's clearance doesn't find touch, and Ake sends it across. Dumfries with the header, and finally, in major tournament football for the Netherlands, and leaving Ukraine bitterly disappointed and frustrated, having done the hard work of clawing their way back from 2-0 down. Ultimately, they leave Amsterdam empty-handed. It's finished. The Netherlands 3, Ukraine 2.
You can see Russia, their tactic is to sit deep, to try and soak up the pressure and then sweep forward on the counter-attack.
Dendonka. Little Dries Mertens. It's come to Lukaku, who would not miss from there. Tielemans. Hazard. Hazard with the cross. And it's turned in by Meunier. Pulled through here for Lukaku to seal the deal. Belgium at a canter. They have ripped up Russia again.
And so this memorable journey begins. Spav. Urunen out wide here for Finland. Here's Pukki. Trying to manoeuvre some space forward with him. And there's a chance! There's a goal! And Poyampalo has scored for Finland! And this resilient Finland defence repelling wave after wave of red and white pressure. Pulls him down. Arayuri thought he won the ball. The referee Anthony Taylor points for a penalty. Radetzky just alerted to stay on his line. Højbjerg here. Radetzky saves the day for Finland. The referee looking at his watch, and the full-time whistle blows. A landmark moment for Finland.
TVC Sport Desk.
All right, Jide Ladipo is a football intermediary. He's also our eyes as far as the Euro Championship is concerned out there in the UK. Remember that England is one of the hosts of the European Championships this season. All right, Jide, as expected, the Euro Championship kicked off last Friday. Games have been played, 8 matches so far. Which of these games would you say really have impressed or really caught your attention so far?
The first game, Italy and Turkey, started off with a bang. As I predicted, the trio of Lorenzo Insigne and Ciro Immobile didn't disappoint. The Turkish were fried in Italian olive oil, 3-0. It was absolutely a delight to watch. Pardon my sarcasm there, but that's the truth. Belgium against Russia as well didn't disappoint. They didn't have Kevin De Bruyne. Eden Hazard is not fully fit, but they were capable of doing what Belgium is capable of doing. There's a reason why they're rated the #1 team in the world at the moment. I really enjoyed watching it. The tiki-taka was unbelievable. You know, it was a bit like watching Manchester City play, you know. A rondo, quick passes, and then it wasn't a surprise that they beat Russia at home 3-0. And lastly, England versus Croatia. England really impressed me. You know, it's not really easy to beat a country that got to the final of the World Cup in 2018. And let's remember that country as well defeated them in the semi-finals. So it was a huge psychological hurdle for them.
Was payback time for the Three Lions.
Yeah, so yeah, it was a huge psychological hurdle for Raheem Sterling as well. And you know, I was happy that he lived up to the billing, and Gareth Southgate got everything right on that day. You know, it was good to watch. Italy, Belgium, and England. Those are the three games that impressed me so far in this tournament.
Okay, we've seen a couple of players score goals. Lukaku has scored 2 already. Which of the players so far in the tournament really would you say is living up to expectation and the hype?
Well, I mean, Phil Foden, definitely, you know, there was a lot of hype around him. You know, still young, 19. You know, can he come into the team? He showed what he could do. Mason Mount as well. Let's remember that those 2 young English lads have never played in an international tournament at senior level. They've played under 20 and under 17, but not on the senior team for England. So they lived up to it. Ciro Immobile lived up to it as well. You know, he was really persistent, supporting his teammates, you know, on and off the ball. I was really happy to see him come back to his best form for Italy. Romelu Lukaku as well. You know, a lot of people have talked about Romelu Lukaku's first touch. Do you remember when they used to say, like, oh, Lukaku doesn't really have a good touch, first touch? That's why it got sold from from Manchester City United to Inter Milan. But he proved, you know, over the weekend that he's a striker who is going to come and light up this tournament. And then Eden Hazard, lastly, though he's not fully fit, the cameo performance he put in was absolutely amazing. For someone who's not really played enough games this season, it's proved that if given enough time and is fully fit, you know, he can run the world of football. So those are the players: Lukaku, Immobile, Foden, and Mason Mount and Eden Hazard.
Okay, before I let you go, Jide, 2 games on the card later today. Spain play Sweden, Poland against Slovakia.
Well, like I said the other time, I'm expecting Spain to lead that group, despite the fact that they've not been, you know, the Spain that we know of 2008, 2010, 2012, the golden generation. So I expect them to beat Sweden. Sweden without Zlatan Ibrahimovic, they need a leader on the pitch. It will be a surprise if Sweden should even get a draw today against Sweden. Poland and Slovakia, well, that's a 50-50 for me. I think it depends on how Robert Lewandowski will turn out today. If he's on form, if he's scoring the goals in this tournament, they should beat Slovakia very, very easily.
All right, Jide, thank you so much for your thoughts on the program today.
It's a pleasure, Promise. Thank you.